Hello student, today I am going to teach about the subject Economics class 11 chapter 2nd and part 4. Today we will discuss about agriculture sector after independence. Some policies was taken after independence related to the agriculture sector. That is a land reform, Zamindari and Jahagir, no importance in agriculture sector, low productivity imported food from USA, changing in ownership of land holding abolish, intermediaries, tiller give ownership. We will discuss the 5 points in this video. Agriculture. We have learned in chapter 1st that during the colonial government there was neither growth nor equity in the agriculture sector. We know that colonial government didn't any work which was helpful for our country, which was helpful to our country and which contribute to growth in our country. The policymaker of independent India had to address this issue, which they did through land reform and promoting the use of miracle seed, that is a high productivity seed, which ushered in revolution in Indian agriculture. After independence, some policies had to address related to issues how to overcome the agriculture sector. First step was taken, that is a land reform. At the time of independence, the land tenure system was characterized by intermediaries. We know that about this, called zamindars, jahagir, who mainly collected rent from the actual tiller of the soil without contributing toward improvement on the farm. The low productivity of agriculture sector forced India to import goods from United States of America. Equity in agriculture called land reform, which primarily referred to change in the ownership of land holding. We can understand this point very well through this. After independence, some policies was developed and remove these policies. That is a land tenure system. Land tenure system, that is Zamindari and Jahagir. Zamindar and Jahagir was removed because this person collected rent from tiller. Tiller is the actual cultivator of crop, and Zamindars and Jahagir collected rent from tillers and they deposit some amount, fixed amount to colonial government. After independence, we removed this system. And second is the low productivity of agriculture sector. The reason is that food grains which was imported from USA and this food grain was used in agriculture. The reason is that low productivity of agriculture sector. I hope this point will be clear. It means that equity in agriculture called for land reform. Through this, the main policy was to develop equity in agriculture sector. That in form of, we can call it a land reform, which primarily referred to change in ownership of land holding. First of all, our prime minister and our policy maker remove the ownership of landholders, that at that time Zamindari and Jahagir, and to provide the land to actual landholder and take some necessary actions which was very helpful for growth of our agriculture sector. A step was taken to abolish intermediaries and to make the tillers the owner of land. Some steps are taken, that is the abolish intermediaries. Intermediaries, that is the Zamindar and Jahagir, and to make tillers the owner of land and change the ownership to give ownership to cultivators, tillers, that is the actual owner of land. The idea behind this move was the ownership of land which give incentive to the tiller to invest in making improvements provided sufficient capital which was available to them. And tiller Ownership of land. Ownership of land which give incentive. Tiller, tiller invest their capital and make improvement in production, and this is very helpful for improvement in agriculture sector. Second point is a land ceiling. Land ceiling was another policies to promote equity in the agriculture sector, which means fixing the maximum size of land which could be owned by an individual. The purpose of land ceiling was to reduce the concentration of land ownership in a few hands. We can understand this point very well through this picture. Through this, we can understand land ceiling. Land ceiling means that fixed land per person, per individual. Land are fixed, some maximum size of land are fixed per person, that is per individual. Example is that person A, the land of fixed this amount. Per person land are fixed. Maximum size of land are fixed by per person. And through this policy, government and tiller come into contact with each other without interference of intermediaries. And this policy was helpful and profitable in that form increase output of goods and input, increase output and growth in agriculture. The main purpose of this policy is that increase output of goods of food items and growth in agriculture sector. And this policy was very helpful for increasing the growth in agriculture, but some states are followed this policy very well, that is Kerala and Bengal. This state followed these policies very well, but some state of our India cannot fully follow this policy, land ceiling and land reform. I hope you can understand very well about land ceiling and land reform. Thank you, class. You have any doubt in any point land ceiling and land reform can ask me question. Thank you.